Well, how'd everyone? Cowy Average Sim Racer here. It is week 2 for season 2 2025 for the Gen 3 Supercars. And we are at Sebring International Raceway for round number 2. It's quite a tricky track to get right. Probably one of those tracks where you really got to position the car in the right places. If you do that, you're going to find that extra bit of pace over your rivals. Of course, there's a few key spots that you really need to maximise and get right. But, of course, in this car, it seems to take a couple of laps to get the tyres up the temp. So, generally finding that I'm going out harder on my first lap. Now, I suppose a respectable time around here, I think, is going to be somewhere around about the 7s, maybe even the 6s, or going deep in that corner. It is killing me, that corner at the moment. I think the quick guys are probably going to be down in the 5s, maybe even the 4s. I think, you know, we're going to see quality around those sort of numbers, but they're, you know, starting to get to alien pace when you're looking at 4s and 3s in this car. Like, this is one of those tracks too that Madison Down from VRS really likes this place, so his times tend to be pretty quick here. Alright, so setting up for our first hot lap. The setup does start on the back here, so you're looking to brake between the 4 and 3 cones. Going pretty close to the wall, and basically trying to double apex it, I suppose. I'm going back to 3rd. Get tight here, because you want to try and apply the accelerator and straighten the car out so that you don't have that much steering lock and you can apply acceleration and get it going. Now up here the line disappears into the wall. We're braking just before that. Back to 4th. Try and get in tight here. About where that cone is on the top of the fence is your apex. All right, braking just before the lines. Back to 3rd. Try and get as far over the left there as you can. You can get up on that curb there. Same thing here. You're late apexing this, so you can get on the gas. Use the curb, but you don't want any dirt because it'll really cost you on exit. Alright, it's pretty flat out through there. We're looking to brake just before the change in the tarmac. Going back to 2nd now. You really want to try and get up and use a good chunk of that curb. Maybe even get over it, because you can straight line your exit there. Little lift and then back on it. We're flat out through this corner. Now we're going to brake probably a metre or 2 before the 4 cones. Used to be able to go to pretty deep there, but again, you know, if you go deep in that corner, you're washing off a lot of speed there and costing it through here. Alright, looking to brake at about the 3 cones. Get up over that curb so you can carry speed. The difficult corner there because you're turning the car at the same time you're braking, so it's going to want to slide. Little lift through the first one. Same thing. Braking just before the 3 cones. Get up on the curb if you can. Otherwise, through there, trying to carry as much speed. And again here, opening out the last turn so you can get on the gas hard and maximise that acceleration zone there. Alright. Up here, looking to brake between the 4 and 3 once again. Trailing it in, get on the gas. That's a bit of exit. We were able to get on the gas a bit harder there. But see, you can give it up at the start. Alright, so what time did we do? 2:07 flat. Let's try and get this. Apply some more gas there. We sort of ran just that little bit too wide.
Track limits, this lap will be deleted.
Got a bit more speed through there. And again, we really want to lay apexes so we can get on the gas as early as possible. And even then we gave up a little bit of time. Now, I actually haven't checked to see if there is a wet session or a chance of a wet session. So I will have a look. If there is, I'll tack it on the end of this video. It might seem a bit strange if I wrap up this video. And then there's another bit afterward, but that's what we're going to have to do. And this corner here is probably my bogey corner, because you really want to try and come out mid-track so you can get on the gas there. I'm just finding it hard to pull the car up there. You can see there, I've got a little bit of a slide before, so I've sort of overheated the rears a little, and then she just wanted to slide again on the next one. I think this might be a bit of a tyre killer, I think, this race. Alright. Get up on that curb. You can, but it does unsettle the car a fair bit, so, you know, think about that when you try and find laps. One of the great things about Sebring, though, is that this last corner here, there's multiple lines you can take. I tend to try and get in tight there. It's not quite tight enough, really. But here, we can apply the gas and get a okay run. Alright. Now, by the looks of it, we probably should have been in the sixes. But that's alright. That's a bit better this corner. We can carry a bit more speed. Still easy to pick up an off track there. I just couldn't. And I've gone a bit deep there. You're seeing that's cost me as well. So as you can see, look, this is not my best track by any means. Oh, I'm going too wide there too. How much is that going to cost us? Probably about 3 or 4/10. But yeah, definitely not my best track. But, you know, hopefully there's enough nuggets in there to help you guys out. It does seem like yeah.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
I think the rear of the car is fairly stiff, so it can move, swing about for you. This car, a lot of the times you're relying on that sort of trail braking and the weight transference to get the car turned. All right, we're a bit more mid-track this time. And we'll just have a look at how much better that is. We sort of wrecked it. We cut that one a bit too much. And then run wide again. So look, there is still a fair few things that I'm still working out here in this car, but there's changes of direction, those weight transference, but this is like probably the most important corner on the track. And you see I get it wrong, like I'm looking already 2 seconds slower this lap just because of the mistakes. And, you know, another 2 or 3/10 there. Alright, coming into the pits, it's all pretty tight. So again, like you're doing, get in nice and tight, but instead of getting on the gas and accelerating out, you're staying tight and you're looking to brake probably just as the car gets inside the cones.
Watch your speed.
Yeah, so once the full width of the car is getting past the cones there. Alright, I don't know if that was a particularly great look at Sebring, but we will put it up there anyway. Quite a tricky track to get your head around and, you know, find those good lines. Alright, well, thanks very much for watching. Of course, if you are enjoying the content, please give me a like and subscribe. I'll have a look now and see if there's going to be a wet session soon. Cheers. Howdy everyone, Cowy here. I'm back for the wet portion of the Sebring track guide. Interesting looking at the scenic view here. You can see that it's raining in one part of the track, not raining in another part. I've set this to light rain. 70% is the track state as far as the rubber's concerned. I've gone out there, done a couple of laps. It is pretty slippery, but you can still drive your, you know, pretty close to the proper racing line. As I've said before, in the wet, your brake markers are generally the same because you don't have the same speed. but I think the concrete's a little bit more slipperier than the asphalt, especially with cold rubber. So coming out of the pits here with the tyres still fairly cold. But as far as it goes, you know, it looks like similar sort of gears, though. I think the curbs, although these 3D curbs probably are going to have a bit more traction in the wet than the non-3D ones, I think it's still pretty risky using them. Though there might be a couple of places where it's worthwhile and will be faster. Say, for instance, down here at the hairpin. You know, if you get it right, you can really get that straight line up and get a good exit. You're going to use that bit of the curb there as you go through, but see, that's very easy to you know, find a bit too much water on a rubbered area and the car will spit out on you. This corner here is still treacherous, really easy to go deep there, so we're going to treat that corner with you know, every bit of respect that it deserves, I think. And again, there's going to be places where you could probably cut it still here, even though that was an ordinary cut I tried to do there on my outlap. But if you, I think it's a risk to use the curbs too much. I am on a wet setup, the VRS wet setup, but looking at the throttle map before, and it is set to 6, so very much in the driver's hands of how much throttle he's going to use. You can see there, like, just every now and again, you hit a rubbered line and you're just going to become a passenger. And even here, going down the back straight, trying to get some sort of manner of grip. For a lightly wet track, there's an awful amount of spray coming out. Alright, so we're going to brake a little bit earlier, braking at the 4, and I'm going to hold off my shift because I don't want to unsettle the car. Alright, again, same principle, we're trying to find that line where we can get on the gas as early as possible, but a bit delayed. So up here, you know, again, we're going to brake a pretty similar spot where the yellow line disappears into the fence. Same sort of line. Again, there still is some grip out there. Alright, same gear again, back to third, but this section here is quite slippery, so just be careful. And of course, we've got to try and get a good line here, but again, throttle management is going to be the key, because the car still wants to step out in 4th and 5th. So, right, now we're going to brake a bit earlier, so maybe a car length or 2 before the tarmac change. It's pretty hard to see, so you're really looking for as if there's an extra set of witches hats. And see there, we slid too deep, gave up at least a few tenths there. Alright. Braking just a little bit earlier up here. We're trying to slow the car up as much as we can. I'll come out better mid-track this time than I have on the dry run, I think. You can see there the car wanting to slide out. And again, probably braking as if there's an extra set of hats there. Let's try to do the cut. Oh, it's still poorly done. But it wasn't too bad. Oh, no, there we go. Can we keep it out of the fence? Oh, I like tap.
Watch the track limits.
I don't know if I've done enough damage there to the car or not. Feels alright so far. Let's try and finish this lap. See if we can get another one in. Because again, it is quite tricky, and sometimes, you know, no matter what you do, you're just a passenger. I think the curb there is going to be pretty deadly as well. Oh. Like in this sort of weather, we're at least probably 20 seconds slower. Try and brake a little bit deeper. Staying in 4th for a little bit longer, I think, because that shift really wants to unsettle the car. But multiple different lines there, so it's probably not as heavily rubbered area, that last corner. That slide definitely cost us because I think I was a bit quicker before. go, that was a bit better. Just coming inside a little bit there, it's pretty heavily rubbered. I think the longer it rains, the more you're going to start to look for those lines off the big rubbered areas, so especially down to the hairpin here. I'd say you're going to start to see people taking the inside route, at least moving a little bit off the line there. Let's try it. Alright, actually worked out alright then. We didn't go quite as deep this time. That curb was a little slippery there. Not quite getting up into 6th for that corner. Definitely going a bit quicker this lap. I think this curb here, you can cut like you do in the drive. It is harder to see though. Again, just it's a little bit more caution. Because again, you've just got to drive to the conditions. I don't know if it's going to get quite this bad. But who knows, you might start a race and find it raining hard. So at least, you know, hopefully this guy does give you an idea to how to tackle this circuit in the wet. Oh, big slide. Big slide. Can we say that we did? Alright. Cost us about half a second or a second, I reckon. Oh, there we go. That was a little bit better time. And I reckon at least half a second cost there by that slide, probably more. Another slide. I'll bring around once more and put it into the pits. Try and see if we can get a quicker line through here. You are skating, but going out there, that's just costing you so much time. Having to wait to get on the throttle. Try to brake that in the middle up here. So braking, you know, probably a car length before the tarmac change. And I think there's a bit more grip on the inside there, so definitely something, you know, as the track rubbers in, you know, that outside line is going to be quite slippery. We'll go up to 6 this time. Stay on the brake for a bit longer. Or just the weight transference kept the rear of the car out there. But I think here, you know, you're braking as well as an extra one. Bit of caution. And again, you know, trying to apply accelerator when the car's sort of pitching and rolling. Definitely doesn't want to behave as it should in this sort of weather. These curbs I think are going to be quite dangerous in the rain. Unpredictable 3D curbs could easily spit you out. So I'd be aware of the same thing there on that outside curb. Doesn't feel like there's enough grip that we can get on the accelerator, but could easily spit you out. Alright, so bring it around. Same thing, trying to get into the pits. A bit better this time, no big slide. Trying to apply, and the same principle in the drive. We're waiting for the sort of the rear of the car to pass the last cone. You could probably go maybe another car length or so before you brake. But again, you know, give up half a second to risk a 40-second penalty in the wet because you slide. Yeah, I'd rather brake a little bit earlier. Alright guys, well there is a track guide of Sebring both in the dry and in the wet. So a little bit of damage there from that tag in the wall, but okay, still using a fair bit of tyres even in the wet. But yeah, I think the interesting American server, there may well be a few races that end up somewhat like this, so I wish you all luck out there. But of course, if you are enjoying the content, please give me a like and subscribe, and yeah, hope this helps. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Cheers.